Black Panther Wakanda Forever has opened to mixed reviews, with some praising the sequel while others complain about its mediocrity. So, what is wrong with this movie? This is Exasperated Nerd Explains. I think the biggest problem with the film is that apart from how the film handles grief, the character story arcs are all very weak. This was evident early on when Shuri confronts her mother, saying there is no afterlife. I immediately knew that a large portion of her story arc was going to be the standard science-minded thinker who does not have faith, eventually coming to find faith at the end. It's also odd since the movie literally starts with a prayer to Bast, which is not really addressed again. So she did have faith of some kind before T'Challa's death, or was it just in desperation? It's never fully addressed. I get you are wanting to do a somewhat grounded movie due to the passing of Chadwick Boseman, but this is a world that everyone at this point knows has time travel, superpowers, and literal magic. Not to mention that apparently everyone in Wakanda knows that you talk to your dead predecessors on the ancestral plane after becoming the Black Panther. I cannot suspend my disbelief that she cannot possibly suspend hers. They have done this in the comics as well, where Beast or someone smart professors there's nothing greater. My guy, you literally know people who have died and come back to life with stories of the afterlife. It's a little ridiculous to think there's not something more or greater. She literally must think that the visions and discussions other Black Panthers had was just them being high off of heart-shaped herb juice. I do think the being angry as part of the grieving process part of her story worked better, and they should have leaned into that more instead of trying to do two things at once. Plus, we never get the satisfaction of a full turn, where she acknowledges finding faith. Yes, she hears and listens to her mother's words before making a decision, and also speaks to Killmonger, but she could still just dismiss these as being overcome by stress or whatever, so that did not clearly conclude. Then you have Okoye. Her character arc was weird. They framed it as her being too traditional, which could have been used to follow up on her supporting Killmonger in the first film, which is brought up but not really integrated into this arc. She is not wanting the Dora Milaje to use weapons other than spears, for example, even though she is using a high-tech spear which collapses, and criticizes the Midnight Angel supersuit that Shuri built. And that's fine, but they could have had Shuri's echo her story by having her embrace the Black Panther as her going back towards tradition, while Okoye needs to embrace some change, both meeting more in the middle, a la Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. However, the way this is ultimately executed basically flies in the face of traditional storytelling, and unwittingly leaves her defeated in a way that the filmmakers don't seem to understand. Just like Shuri becomes Black Panther, Okoye dons the super suit because she wants to win, because Atuma defeats her in a one-on-one battle, allowing Shuri to get kidnapped. Now, generally, this type of story arc has our hero get defeated, turn to a new weapon or tactic as a crutch, and begin another battle with the upper hand, thinking they cannot do it with their own abilities. Then in the fight, the new method fails them too, and they turn back to their own skills and training, which allows them to triumph. The power was within them all along, sort of thing. But nope, not here. Here the solution is yes, having an Iron Man supersuit will let you win a fight. Great, I guess. Not exactly a surprise rationally or character growth, just awkward. I think this sells the character short and casts a shadow on her abilities, weakening what was a strong character. Then we have Riri Williams, or Ironheart, who serves the same purpose as America Chavez in the latest Doctor Strange, a character serving the role of the MacGuffin that everyone is chasing, but even America had a little bit of a story arc. Riri is just there. She's shown to be intelligent and can build things, but just goes from place to place otherwise. Plus, I believe she killed like 10 cops when she blasted that blockade on the bridge in Boston. So there's that. Also, to duplicate how uninteresting these character arcs were, Riri beats Namora and Okoye beats Atuma in one scene after the other where both basically just hit the character really far away. It felt repetitive and awkward. And not to forget, Everett Ross, who was only in this because he was in the first one, and they wanted to shove in a little bit of connectivity with Julia Louis-Dreyfus in there as well. He literally just tells them info which they could have received via a spy, drone, or email. He gets arrested and is then freed. To say something nice, I do think they did an excellent job with the world building of Namor and his people, the Not Atlanteans. Even though I'm a fan of the original comic book character, the take was interesting enough that I was not too upset. Bit of a stretch to get to his name and try to tie it in with Wakanda, but it was okay. And his Imperious Rex battle cry just felt out of place. Overall, I believe the inconsistent feeling many are getting after seeing this movie is because while they may like the characters and bring in outside emotion due to the passing of Chadwick Boseman, the storylines did not really do the characters justice. But what are your thoughts on this movie? Do you think the story arcs were weak or did you enjoy them? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel while you're here, and check out other content I've put out as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.